Hello and welcome back to the USA Dynasty, as today we will take on our final two opponents of the regular season. We have UAB and then UT San Antonio, and out come the Jaguars today against the UAB Blazers that have actually been a pretty good team this year. So UAB was an interesting one. I believe they cut their football program around 10 years ago, I think. And they have come back and they've actually been a pretty decent team. Been good in basketball, actually. Really good in basketball. But Gideon Davidson looks to dash their hopes. They are bowl eligible on the season, but we want to stop that at 6 games, 1. And first play of the game will be Gideon Davidson up the middle for a 5-yard carry. One thing we've seen a lot less of this year from our running back is east-west movement. So he is an east-west playmaker. Duke Watson also was. And we've seen a lot less of that east-west, I would say, play calling. It's been a lot more in between the tackles. But he's been so good at it that I don't think it can really fault him for it. 3rd and 5 now. Drop back for O'Neal. Throwing the swing pass out. Winston Malone cuts inside and picks up a first down. Down to the 36-yard line. Now 1st and 10 for Danny O'Neal. It's the drag route. Jalen Mbakwe, and he's down to the 30. Makes it 2nd down and 3. We've just been having a lot short of a passing game, as this play somehow not pass interference. Gideon Davidson not allowed by contact to get to his spot. And we'll toss it to him on 4th and 1. He easily gets the first down. That has been the one area we've still seen some of that east-west movement on these toss plays. Now Gideon Davidson up the middle, powering his way into the end zone. And that's why we run in between the tackles. He's so good at it. Actually pretty strong. And obviously with the acceleration he has, just hits that hole and just goes. So out comes KJ Jackson. He is from Montgomery, Alabama, so that's pretty cool. And first play, throw over the middle is caught. 1st and 10. And I did forget there's another Alabama team. I will be honest, I've only been thinking of Troy and then Auburn and Alabama. I completely forgot about UAB this whole time. KJ Jackson taking off and running with this one past midfield. Inside the 45, down inside the 40. What a QB run. 1st and 10. Jackson pump fakes. Airs this one out into the end zone and it's broken up. Good double coverage. Cole Punga blanketing that route. Now it's 2nd down and 10. Another read option keeper for Jackson. And he'll have 9 yards on that carry. Makes it a manageable 3rd and 1. So UAB is definitely somebody I want to play more in the future. Of course, we don't have a rivalry, though. That's one of the frustrating parts about South Alabama, is we forced the 4th down with Deron Reed's play. He is injured on the play. Now 4th and inches. And it's a toss play out. And 1st down for Brian Jackson. So the Jackson, I don't know if they're brothers, but 2 Jacksons in the backfield. And now a keeper for KJ, and he has a 1st down and then some inside the 10. But yeah, it's a little frustrating that UAB isn't a rival of South Alabama's, as KJ Jackson scores and they will even the game up. It really makes it where there's like a coach traits that I can only unlock with 4 rivalry wins. That means I'll only be able to unlock that after year 4 if we play Troy. A big time catch and run now for Gideon Davidson on the screen. At the 46-yard line, Danny O'Neal drop back, finds Jake Godfrey over the middle, and he'll cross midfield at the 48. Now 3rd and inches, play fake, and going for the shot over top as Corey Milner was wide open underneath. He would have had about 20 some odd yards, and instead it's broken up. 4th and inches, though, we'll still go for it, and we do get it. So, I mean, I don't necessarily hate taking the shot there, but you sometimes want to take the yardage. Amani Alaka now spelling Gideon Davidson. He'll have a 12-yard run. 2nd down and 7. It's a toss. Mbakwe inside the 15 down to the 11-yard line. Of course, we've run so much of him sideways this year. Now 1st and 15. Danny O'Neal sacked. James Steele with a really nice play getting into the backfield. Makes it 2nd and 24 as we hand it off. Gideon Davidson cuts right, cuts left. He scores. That's what you get with him in between the tackles. I think Gideon Davidson, yes, he is so elusive and so good outside the sticks, outside the hashes. Gideon Davidson would excel up the middle in a veer and shoot offense. Maybe even a power spread, I don't know. This is a nice run now, and it's going to be down at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10, KJ Jackson, play fake, sacked off the edge. Caleb Jackson brought in on the DB blitz, and we get him. 2nd and 19, now drop back for Jackson. He's going to step up in the pocket and fire this one. Really good coverage, but a better throw. Cole Punga Can't force it. And RJ Moss shaking up on the play. Now 3rd and 7. Jackson, nobody open, so he's going to take off and run. And Punga gets caught up on his wide receiver. That was such a good time for KJ to decide to run. Now throwing this one before Deron Reed crushes him. And this one's caught over Cole Punga. Bad stretch for Cole Punga, being picked on 3 straight plays. And now the toss play out and upended at the 5. Brian Jackson. Handoff again to Brian Jackson. And this time he runs his way into the end zone through the contact. And the Blazers score again, tying this game up with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Blazers would get the ball again here later. And it's a run for KJ Jackson down to the 46-yard line. 3rd and 8 now. Jackson drop back. And he finally elects, no, actually he steps up to run and then dumps it off to Marquise Collins, the backup running back. And he's down inside the 15. KJ Jackson making so many plays with his legs. This is a really talented offense. Now this throw outside is caught, and that is down to the 6-yard line. Haven't even seen the receivers be that much used so far, as this will be another score for Brian Jackson. We're getting killed on the ground in this game. 2nd and 13 now at the 18. Stepping up and running, Danny O'Neal up the middle. And while I haven't necessarily been impressed with O'Neal, and I am of half a mind to replace him in the offseason if there's an option, I will say his speed has been really, really useful. 8-yard catch for Gideon Davidson. Now handing it off to him at the 44. He cuts it inside past midfield down to the 43. Makes it 1st and 10. We're still running that kind of spaced out veer and shoot formation. Now throwing this one out, and Mbakwe catches it. Beautiful touch pass, finding Mbakwe in the one hole in the zone on the field. Now handoff, Davidson cuts inside, and he scores again. I assume he's going to get drafted, and I am going to miss playing with Gideon Davidson. He is probably the best player I've ever usered. 1st and 10, another carry for Brian Jackson. It's a 6-yarder. 50 seconds left in this half, and the fumble! KJ Jackson fumbles. Ball picked up, Randy Noble, and we get the ball back inside the 25. O'Neal over the middle and nearly gives it right back. Oh my gosh, Danny. So with 20 seconds left, we would settle for a field goal, but that would be enough to give South Alabama the lead and the momentum at halftime. Near disaster for UAB, and then near disaster for South Alabama. A turn of events for sure, as the Jaguars lead 24-21, and we're actually getting outrushed on the ground. 162 to 118. That is your big difference in this game and why UAB has kept it close. They have been by far the best rushing team we've seen on the season. Handoff now, KJ Jackson to Brian Jackson, and he's shrugging off the contact. It's a 7-yard run. Makes it a very short 3rd and 1. Handoff up the middle, Brian Jackson again. And he is feasting. Doesn't matter which Jackson it is running, they are both tearing us up. Now look at the cut from Brian Jackson. An 11-yard run, he's across the 40. Zuri Madison shaking up on the play. Maybe that'll hurt the run game. Trips left now on 3rd and 7. It might be a pass, and it is finally, and we sack him. Markel Vincent up the middle, and we finally get him to throw the ball. And that means we can actually get our good pass rush to be relevant. Back on offense again later, however, UAB with the handoff, and it's a 15-yarder for Brian Jackson. He eclipses 100 yards on the game. 1st and 10 now, handoff Brian Jackson, shrugging off the contact. We just can't tackle him this game. Inside 8 minutes in the 3rd now, 2nd and 2. And Taiwan Ray shoots the gap, misses the sack, and now it gets thrown out, Brian Jackson. So Ray had nobody in his zone. We decided to bring him on a blitz then. He shoots the gap and runs right at KJ Jackson and just misses him. And now it's 1st and 10 at the 16. KJ and Brian. They sub out Brian for Marquise Collins on this play. Now 3rd and 10. Obvious passing down. KJ. Everything's really well covered. Finally throws this one, but he gets hit as he does. Markel Vincent forcing the errant pass. And that means UAB will try to even it up, and they miss the field goal. Off the upright, it doinks. And South Alabama gets the ball back. 2nd and 8, and it's a carry for Gideon Davidson. Trying to follow his blocker, Stanton Ramble. Just not fast enough to get to the 2nd level and really take that to the house. Now a toss play on 3rd and 3, and it's going nowhere. So Gideon having a really tough day running so far. Throwing this one out, missing Jalen Mbakwe. He was so open. So UAB gets the ball on a turnover on downs with great field position. Brian Jackson running hard. And I think he's got probably 50 of his 100 yards after contact. 2nd and 3 now, handoff. Brian up the middle. Well, this time there's no contact inside the 20. And UAB's offense is something to watch. Another carry up the middle. It might be time as he scores to switch out of the 4-2-5. We are getting killed. Well, 1st and 10 on offense, and South Alabama has to respond. It's a play fake. O'Neal sacked. 9-yard loss, and that's not a good way to respond. 2nd and 19, play clock running down. O'Neal drifting right. Has Gideon Davidson break open, but really good coverage. Elects to throw it, and there's a collision. A little miscommunication. O'Neal sails it, and it's intercepted. And USA may officially be on upset alert. Inside 2.5 in the 3rd. Handoff, Brian Jackson, untouched. Jackson, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And he walks it into the end zone. This run defense has been pathetic today. Jaguars find themselves in a rare double-digit deficit. This one gets behind the safety. Mbakwe grabs it and goes 20, 10, touchdown. Oh, another bad throw by Danny O'Neal, and it works out in our favor. A 50-50 bang-bang play, and Jalen Mbakwe house calls it. 35-30, we're going for 2. O'Neal throwing this one out. Caught! Jerry and Graham on the corner. And it is now a 3-point game. Sometimes, on a run to the playoffs, you need to be lucky better than you need to be good. 200 yards now for Brian Jackson, by the way. He has been already the single best running back we faced this season, and he's going to run this one again for 20. We're going to drop probably 300 yards rushing to UAB today, if not 400. Now, finally, a rare throw. This is Antonio Ferguson, the tight end, and he catches that for 15. Last play of the 3rd quarter, handoff Brian Jackson, and he's met by true freshman Markel Vincent, and we finally have a good stop on the run. 3rd and 10 now, passing down, and brought down in the backfield. That's what happens when you force these long passing downs. You can actually sack the quarterback. Kevin Otis now, and it's a play fake screen for Corey Milliner. That's an 8-yard run. And it's going to be 3rd and 2 now. 10 minutes left in this game. Handoff Davidson up the middle. Davidson cuts it out, and Davidson's going to outrun the safety. 40, 30, 20. Heisman, here he comes. He scores. Gideon Davidson with 2 plays. The Jaguars have taken control of this game again. Mbakwe's lucky catch and run, and now Gideon Davidson, and now they're throwing it. UAB might start changing up the game plan as Xavier Daisy's hurt on the play. They go 4 wide, but it is just to spread out this defense and hand the ball off again. It'll be interesting to see if we can force UAB to have to feel more pressed to throw. That might be a good way to make this game more doable as this throw down the field, Antonio Ferguson. You can see Taiwan Ray kind of caught up between the running back, giving him an easy 5-yard catch, and carrying that tight end deep, and at some point they just have the better play call. Deron Reed Jr. comes up with a stop. We do force a field goal. So a 1-point lead for the Jaguars, and now a chance to try to grow that lead. 3rd and 1, drop back O'Neal. They have everyone in the box. Mbakwe's got a step and he catches it. Jalen Mbakwe, he will score again. 2 plays, 2 deep throws. Jalen Mbakwe beating his man. And they got aggressive. They brought out the goal line defense on 3rd and 1. That is just not the time to do that, UAB. Now a keeper for KJ Jackson, but now they have to score and get the 2-point conversion. 3rd and 6. We forced another passing down. KJ does have his man open. It looks like Andy McGlynn took the wrong route on his match. And now they're down inside the 40 of the Jaguars. 1st and 10, drop back KJ over the middle. Again, it's his tight end, Antonio Ferguson. 1st and 10 at the 30 now. KJ drop back. And he's going to step up in the pocket. Andy McGlynn trying to cover a route and gets his ankles broken on the QB scramble up the middle. 2nd and 3, handoff. Marquise Collins gets one of his rare carries of the day. and he's brought down for a loss as Jared Ligon is shaken up on the play. 3rd and 6, KJ. Gonna have to do it through the air or with his legs, and he will get it on the ground. 1st and 10 at the 15. Now the handoff, Brian Jackson up the middle's got another first down, and now they just need 4 yards to potentially even up this game. Handoff, no, keeper, KJ scores! And they rely on their running game to even the game up potentially. UAB dominating on the ground. But they go 5 wide on the 2-point conversion. KJ to the end zone, and he scores it. All tied up 46 apiece. Game of the year candidate so far. UAB is pushing the top 10 South Alabama to the brink. Winston Malone on this return. Malone's got blockers on the outside. He's at the 40. Malone reaching midfield. And he sets up the Jaguars with a really nice field position. Throw underneath. This one caught Dalton Weil. And he'll be a yard short of the first down. Last play before the 2-minute warning. And it's a tackle short of the sticks. 4th and inches, QB keeper. Danny O'Neal's got it. Trent Thomas shaken up on the play. And this would be a serious one we'll check on later. 2nd and 14, handoff, Gideon Davidson up the middle, and now you start running the clock. UAB's got to start calling timeouts. 1st and 10 at the 28. And it's an RPO out to Mbakwe, who will gain about 8 yards. UAB one more timeout, 3rd and inches, handoff, no, keeper, Danny O'Neal slides it, and that'll be the final UAB timeout. The Jaguars with Neal on the ball, and with 3 seconds left, the kick is up, and it is good, and we score to win. American Conference game against UAB that, honestly, I thought UAB was going to run away with for a minute. And 2 just lucky or skillful plays from Mbakwe. Well, I guess 3 from Mbakwe, and then 1 from Gideon Davidson on that run. He is your player of the game, but he had to get 200 yards on 27 carries. Very rare you'll see that. But those carried our game, because otherwise we were kind of getting slogged around by UAB, where they were dragging us through the mud on defense, and on offense, we could not stop the run. Time of possession game was definitely trending towards them until towards the end we kind of started to bring it back our way. Danny O'Neal almost 300 yards passing on the game, but it wasn't exactly an effective passing offense, I'd say. 7.8 yards a carry for Gideon Davidson. That'll be a near season low for him. Still 200 yards, 4 touchdowns though. Heisman candidacy not going away. 210 for Mbakwe through the air and 2 touchdowns. Really nobody else caught the ball today. It was Mbakwe or bust in the passing game, and we did not bust, so I guess it worked. And then not a lot of great defensive stats. Keenan Major commits from Memphis, Tennessee. We get a wide receiver that had locked us out in the season, and then Trent Godwin, Mike linebacker, commits 4-star player. Might be the heir apparent to Andy McGlynn. Hopefully not next season. We'll see if McGlynn declares. But now it is senior day in Hancock Whitney as we take on the UTSA Roadrunners. And we'll get a little more after this game. We'll get to find out who our American Conference Championship opponent is. 1st and 10, handoff Gideon Davidson. Davidson going to take an 8-yard run. We definitely want to get him involved more, but we do want to run him less. 27 carries is too many, and the wear and tear for him already creeping up now as we get taken down for a 3-and-out. Gabe Stock comes out, and he is a very talented quarterback, one of the better ones in the UTSA, or in the American Conference, that is. And this handoff on 1st down is going to be a 5-yard gain to the 46. 2nd down and 5 now for Stock, and he throws a quick hitter. That is out and caught by Jacques Spradley Dimps. 2nd down and 10 now. In the gun, play fake, dropping back, Stock throwing this one out. And that is broken up, intended for Patrick Overmeyer. It's now a 3rd and long situation. Rush does not get there, and he gets this one out. That's caught by Ivan Carrion. Short of a 1st down, but they'll go for it. 4th and 2. And it's a handoff. And it's going to pick up the 1st down and a few extra as well. Down to the 30-yard line, 11-yard run for Marcus Buckhalter. 1st and 10, Buckhalter still in the game. And it looks like they're starting running back Frankie Arthur. One of their best players on offense seems to be out for this game. Must be injured. 3rd and 11 now. Stock. Another passing down. We get there with the rush this time. No sack, but we forced the incompletion. And that means UTSA can take the first lead of the game with a field goal. So we have definitely been starting a little slower on some of these teams where they've been kind of keeping up with us early. It has not been, I guess, a game in a while where we were able to just take over. Winston Malone finds a crease. Malone 40, 50, 40 again, and out at the 30-yard line. Those 2 kick returns may be enough to propel him into first for the Jet Award projections. Now Danny O'Neal hit as he throws. His own lineman got pushed into him. 4th and 3, we bring in Alexander Newsom at Wildcat. And it's a throw. Newsom to the end zone. Caught! Marcus Helm! A jump ball from our Wildcat quarterback to our pure blocker tight end. The most unlikely combination you'll see all year. And it's caught on 4th for a touchdown. Marcus Buckhalter, a 10-yard run. And a really concerning trend towards the end of this season on rushing defense. We'd been stout on it, and now it's starting to disappear. Gabe Stock going to throw this one around Taiwan Ray. That picks up the first down at the 34, and they're running that no huddle. One of the more frustrating aspects of CFB 26 is playing against the no huddle. I find that it makes it annoying to edit, first of all, because there's just more content to edit. But then also on defense, it's really tough to stick up with some of these teams when they're running that no huddle. The no huddle will be broken now as Zach Trask, offensive lineman, is hurt on the play. 2nd down and 2, Gabe Stock over the middle, and that's caught. Big time grab for Zion Kearney, their #1 player on offense. You'll see him out at X, and they'll find him again here for an 8-yard catch and run. 2nd down and 2 now, bringing in the tight end. Gabe Stock gets a running back screen. Buckhalter's got the first down inside the 15. So UTSA moving the ball effectively today. Can they score a touchdown, though, in the red zone? Buckhalter up the middle, and he picks up a first down. 1st and goal at the 3 now. Now 4th and goal at the 1. Stock in the gun. And can South Alabama hold? No, they cannot. Handoff up the middle scores. And UTSA takes the lead. 10-7 with 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Handoff up the middle. Gideon Davidson with a burst of speed. And he's down to the 42-yard line. A big run of 20-plus yards for Davidson. Although after a holding and a false start, and now another false start on Stanton Ramel, USA finds themselves back at 2nd and 30. Screen pass Davidson. We're just trying to get some of that yardage back, and that's going to be a good way to do so. 17-yard gain. Now a manageable 3rd and 13. O'Neal drop back, throwing this one out. Caught. Jerrion Graham, the speedster, inside the 30. Down inside the 20, and he is out. So that screen pass on 2nd and 30 sets us up for a doable play. Now 1st and 10, play fake, and it's a crossers, and O'Neal just steps up and runs. 9-yard gain down to the 10, and we're nearing the end of the first quarter. 2nd and inches, O'Neal throwing the comeback to Mbakwe on the mesh, and he gets down to the 1-yard line. USA looking to take the lead once again. Might be the final play of the first quarter. It's a toss play. Gideon Davidson walks it in. Davidson adding another touchdown. That's one thing. We don't vulture his scores very often, so not only does he have the yardage, he also has a high volume of touchdowns. Another screen pass, this time for star player Zach Kearney, and that'll officially end the first quarter. UTSA fighting hard in this game. They're down 4. We'll start the second quarter with a 3rd and 8. Stock throwing this one up. Jump ball, and it's broken up. Willie Goodwin in coverage. 2nd and 6 now. And it's a handoff up the middle. Davidson reaches ahead for first down. That's going to be a 7-yard carry. 1st and 10 at the 45. Handoff Davidson. Davidson trying to cut this out. Jake Godfrey had a block for a half second. Couldn't seal it, though. Now 3rd and 5. Another handoff. Davidson up the middle. And he picks up the first down to the 16-yard line. 2nd down and 4 now. Another Wildcat play. Newsom throwing this one underneath. Caught Jake Godfrey. 3-yard gain. I don't know if Newsom's been incomplete once this year. O'Neal checks back in. It's a handoff. Davidson shrugging off the contact down to the 2. Fighting his way for that first down. 1st and goal now. Play fake. O'Neal to the end zone. Caught Jalen Mbakwe. And I'm going to miss this trio of receivers. I think we definitely could have used them better in their time at South Alabama. Of course, Mbakwe may still stay. It's going to be dependent on the NFL draft. But a nice 15-yard run, as this is the final time potentially we'll see the seniors like Jake Godfrey, Corey Milliner. We'll see them play on this field. Unfortunately, Trent Thomas out for the season, by the way. Had to go ahead and deactivate him, but it's over. His college career is done. So he doesn't get to play his senior game. And UTSA really pushing the ball here. No other notable senior players: Dallas Young. On defense, Tyler Thomas, although we don't see him play too often anymore. Deron Reed Jr. in his 1 year at USA is a senior, so we will see him go. And then potential draft picks that we might see leave: Mbakwe, Gideon Davidson, of course, is likely to go. And Andy McGlynn also could be spending his final time here at USA. Now a 9-yard catch down to the 3-yard line. 2nd and 1. UTSA has been moving all over the field on this one. Now finding the end zone, and that is caught. And that's Jalen Mbakwe in coverage. What? It's senior day. You're going to see some weird stuff. 2nd down and 6 now, back on offense. This throw out to Gideon Davidson on the screen. Look at the block from Ryan Howerton. And trying to get the big boy up the middle, Devin Harper, to block, and just can't. It's going to be 1st and 10 now. Throwing this one out. Corey Milliner catches it. Corner. And he will score. House call for the senior in his final potential game in Mobile, Alabama. Do remember, we could host a game in the opening round of the college football playoff. So it's not necessarily our final game, but it's likely our final game, as I don't expect us to host. Now this throw out is caught. And they're down to the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for Gabe Stock. This offense for UTSA has been really good this game, but now a big 9-yard loss. RJ Moss interior defense gets the stop. 2nd and 19. This throw over the middle's caught. Overmeyer going to gain 10 yards back from that sack. Now 3rd and 8. Stock. And it's a handoff. We've seen a lot of the American Conference running run plays on 3rd and long this year. It's really an interesting conference. Toss play out, Gideon Davidson trying to spin around, breaks off a tackle, loses 7 in the process, however. 2nd and 17, 45 seconds left in this half, and O'Neal will be sacked. Down at the 5-yard line, and we would punt. And Waller's punt is blocked. Oh no, disaster strikes. Waller somehow recovers it. Can't run it out of the end zone, however, and that is a safety. So we give up 2 points to UTSA. That makes it a little closer at halftime. Thankfully, no touchdown. 19-28 your score. UTSA nearly evening this game up. But the Jaguars fighting really hard to retain the lead. And we do have a 9-point lead going into the second half. UTSA, of course, will start with the ball in the second half. 1st and 10. This throw to Overmeyer, well blocked on the outside. Cole Punga sealed off. And that's a 15-yard gain. Now 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Trips left. Stock with the snap. Throws this one out. Overmeyer caught down to the 40. It's an 8-yard gain. Now 2nd down and 2. Throwing this one out. That is again star player Zion Kearney. And he's near midfield. We haven't seen a ton of him in this game. I thought they'd focus him a little harder. Now the screen pass. Buckhalter will have the 1st down. We have been getting killed by these short screen plays. Bunches left now. 2nd and 9. Sacked from the left on the blind side to Ron Reed Jr. And we are going to miss him. Possibly best defensive player we've seen in this series. Maybe Blaine Myrick was the best. Now this throw out. Well covered Willie Goodwin. And we force the punt. So back on offense. Handoff. Davidson. Stretch play outside. And he's down to the 35. Gideon Davidson not even yet to 100 yards. Danny O'Neal now throwing this one underneath. Jake Godfrey, of course, might be the last game we see of him. And this is a whiteout game. I decided why not? We'd have a whiteout game for our senior day. Usually we only hold the whiteout game for Troy, but today we brought it out for the Roadrunners. Now handoff up the middle of Amani Alaka with the power run to the 27-yard line. Excited to see what Amani Alaka can do in year 2. Of course, we might be bringing in some good running backs behind him, as Gideon Davidson brought down for a loss. And we'll have to settle for 3, making it a 12-point game. So Jaguars still leading pretty well in this game, but you want to go ahead and do a little more than a field goal. 1st and 10, drop back. Guess what? It's a screen pass. Who would have thought? Buckhalter getting the screen down to the 21. We have not handled screen passes well today. 1st and 10. Throwing this one out. That is caught. Another sighting from Jacques Bradley Dimps. I just want to say that name over and over, but they've only found him twice today. Now 1st and 10 over the middle. Guess who? It's Jocks Bradley Dimps. UTSA trying to get to 8 wins on the season and spoil a South Alabama playoff run. As I just noticed, the USA Jaguars have climbed to 7th now in the rankings. 1st and 10. Play fake to Buckhalter. And sack from the inside, Kevin Otis. Now Dante Venable shaken up on the play. 2nd and 15. And sacked off the edge. No, shrugging off 2 hits and then getting the ball out to Overmeyer. How do you not bring him down on 2 sack attempts? 3rd and 5 now, manageable, 5 wide. And the interior rush reaches there, but now rolling out Gabe Stock will pick up the 1st down. And Stock with the running, no edge contained, makes it 2nd and goal. Handoff, Buckhalter walks it in, scored. And UTSA back within 5 points now. Surprised they didn't go for 2. I guess that'd only make it a 4-point game, but still I think you would go for 2 in my opinion. Winston Malone on the return. Winston Malone's got blocked. Malone to the 50, being chased down 40. Brought down at the 30, and it's his 3rd kick return of 50 yards or more. He has racked the yardage up in the last few games. Doesn't hurt that we've also had a lot of kick returns. Those definitely skew the numbers in our favor. 2nd and goal now at the 7. O'Neal's rolling out right, and this one broken up. Had Godfrey breaking open in the end zone, but really heads up play to jump up for that. Handoff, Davidson down to the 3, but it's going to be 4th and goal. And USA's come too close to the playoffs again to choke this one away. We're going to settle for the field goal and trust our defense to do what it does best. Or tries to do best, I guess. This throw out is caught. Ivan carry on for a 7-yard gain. 3rd and 2, nearing 10 minutes left in this game. Handoff, Buckhalter cuts it back, and he picks up the 1st down. The 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Now 3rd and 4 at the 34. Drop back, throwing this one out, caught. That'll be a 1st down at the 46. UTSA looking so unstoppable in the 2nd half so far. Now the RPO screen, and that one's caught by Zion. Down to the 41. Andy McGlynn now shaken up on the plate. Might be a little ticky-tack, but I'll keep him out for a few plays. Now the handoff up the middle for Buckhalter, 8 yards. They're immediately attacking that middle with Andy McGlynn out. You can see 1st and 10, play fake, and throwing this one out. Caleb Jackson's man wide open, and Overmeyer will score. Uh-oh. This game's getting real close. 2-point conversion to tie it up. Gabe Stock, drop back. Hit from the middle, it's a fumble. Picked up by Deron Reed, and we force the 2-point mistake there. So we have a 2-point lead now. And you can ice this game with a touchdown. Gideon Davidson cutting outside 40. Cuts inside 30. He's gone. Davidson, Heisman. He's so good. Gideon Davidson scores. He hits the pose. That might ice the game. Well, I say that. 9 points, but there's still 7 minutes left. That was such a quick score. Davidson maybe should have gone down at the 1. I don't know. 374 passing yards today for Gabe Stock. He's brought down by Deron Reed. Now Zion Kearney shaken up on the play. That's a big loss. Trips bunch right. This throws out, and Caleb Jackson can't give chase of Buckhalter. That's a big 15-yard gain. Now 1st and 10. 3rd and 9 at the 47. Drop back and throwing this one out. That is caught. Inside the 30. The tight end down to the 27. 4:20 on the game for Gabe Stock now. Really poor pass defense today from the Jaguars. This throw underneath caught. Overmeyer to the 20. It's 4th and 2, and they elect to kick the field goal. So they put the field goal up, makes it a 6-point game, but now you risk the chance of never seeing the ball again. 2nd and 5, trying to get the snap off. We do. Davidson up the middle, shifty, and he's down to the 38-yard line. Now approaching 200 yards rushing. Again on high volume, though. We don't love that. Power read now, and the veer takes us down to the 47-yard line. 3rd and 3. Drop back O'Neal, throwing this one over the middle, and it's broken up. 4th and 3 now, and we have to make a decision. We go for it. Trying to hard count the defense. They don't fall for it, so we run it up the middle. We like the alignment. It was a trap play up the middle. No nose tackle, so we take it. 1st and 10, handoff Amani Alaka, and now you're starting to run clock down. My philosophy is always inside 3 minutes, inside the 50-yard line. That's when you start sitting on the ball a little more. This run will be for a first down. And we're inside 2:30. No timeouts left for UTSA. Next first down might end the game. We don't get it. We get 1 yard, so we'll send out Davis Little in the kicking unit. And this kick would make it a 2-score game. And it does. Right down the middle. 9-point game. UTSA no time to answer anyway. 11 seconds left. This might be last play of the game. Caught Zion Kearney back in the game. The senior. Like to see him getting the ball there. Definitely should reward him. But that'll be the end of the game. USA finishes their first ever 12-0 season, undefeated on the year. 44-35. We've struggled in those final 2 games. Player of the game, of course, Gideon Davidson. Who else? It's been every game this year almost. But the Jaguars finish undefeated, 12-0. We will be headed to the American Conference Championship. Right now, it looks like that's projected to be Tulane. We'll have to see. They are in the top 25 as well. And if we win that game, and maybe even if we lose, we will be in the college football playoffs. Most facets of the game dominated by the Jaguars, but passing yards, 450 on the game. That is unacceptable. 82% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns between O'Neal and Newsom. On receiving, Corey Milner with 67 yards and a touchdown, but only 2 catches. We definitely didn't get the ball thrown around very much today. And on defense, 1.5 for Otis, 1.5 for Moss on the sacks, as Gideon Davidson sets the American single-season rushing yards record. He does not set the school rushing yards record, and we will be facing Tulane in the American Conference Championship. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.